Hello everyone, Papercut here with another casted game. Today we have Alexis versus CP01. Alexis is on the Japanese, on the west side in the yellow. C1PO is Knights Templar. So these are both Conqueror 2 level players, though both have been Conqueror 3 last season, so they're high up there on the ladder. I know Alexis, I've played against Alexis on the ladder a few times, and they are a Japanese Chad, so they main Japanese, they play a lot of Japanese, and overall you see them play a crazy amount. And they're really good with Japan. I mean, you have someone who mains them, they know all the ins and outs, they know the matchups, they know the things to do in certain situations that if you just casually play Japan you wouldn't know. They're very good. C1PO I've never heard of before, but just by their ranking they're also a very good player. And so once again, in my casting journey recently, we're looking at matchups of old civs versus new civs. I think those are the most fascinating, and today we have Alexis rocking Japan, which I think is a great one to watch because they're very good with Japan. And then we have C1PO, of course, on the Knights Templar. And this is an interesting matchup for a couple reasons. Let's kind of go through it. One, before the DLC came out, I felt like Japan was starting to have a little bit of a renaissance. Shout out to Crackety, who I saw playing a lot of Japan, who I think got people kind of interested in what Japan was able to do, and kind of showing the power of the Onna-Bugeisha all-in. Something that I had toyed around with, but then but that was when I was playing Japan before the changes. But then when they patched Japan, and all of a sudden Japan was able to get barracks cheaper, all of a sudden that Bugashi all-in was legitimate and powerful. At the same time, though, we all know Japan as a fast castle civ. They are a civ that's very good at fast castling. Why fast castle? Well, they have any civ that's a fast castle civ has a lot of bonuses they get from fast castling and probably don't have a lot going on for them in feudal. Think about the bonuses Japan gets. They get the Yoroshiros from the Temple of Equality. Nope, wrong one. I was playing Temple of Equality for a while to see if it was any good, so now that one's stuck in my head. But the floating gate with the Yoroshiros, so you can pump out knights very quickly to take map control. You can then immediately get relics, and your knights are really good because of that deflective armor, which makes it so they take the first hit for free with no damage. So I'm gonna sneeze now. No, it's awful. It was a fake out. It was a fake out. It built all the way up into my sinuses and then didn't happen. I hate that. Oh, so what's happened here? One, thank you for fixing the UI, for the love of God. But Japan has gone their initial berry upgrade. Now keep in mind, Japan doesn't have wheelbarrow, but they don't have a horticulture either, or all the farming upgrades. They just have a combined upgrade, and what it does is that it increases their movement speed, but also increases their rate of gathering from berry bushes, and does it more and more, and there's 3 levels. So this makes it so on the first level, berries are, I think, as good as sheep, basically, pretty much on that same level. And then the second upgrade makes berries basically gather as good as deer, and then the third upgrade makes them basically like boar. So Japan's great on maps that have a lot of berries, but also they're really good on maps that have a lot of berries, but also makes it so you kind of want to delay potentially doing your berries because you want to save those from when they're really high gather rates. But if you're trying to be aggressive and feudal, going on the berries is still worth it, though deer, of course, are also very good. So let's talk about their opening. So we have a slow Kura Storehouse 3. Alexis seems to be gearing towards a potential fast castle. We have 4 on gold. But we are doing a really far berry, and so I feel like you wouldn't go berries this far out unless you plan on using them and being aggressive. At the same time, only 3 on wood. There's a potential these are aging up, but these 3 go to wood, and then we're getting barracks and we're just doing kind of a feudal, at least plain feudal a bit. C1PO, on the other hand, is doing the classic Templar 2TC. I like Templar 2TC a lot. I've seen some debate around upper level players if it's better than just aggression. 2TC delays your initial pilgrims, and pilgrims of course are one of the biggest eco pops you have as Knights Templar. At the same time though, you can get a 2TC very quickly. Like he's dropping the second TC at about 420 blaze it, and that's really good. Like for TC timings, that is very good, and that means you're boosting your eco, and that also means that whenever you age up, you're no longer losing villagers during the age up, or losing villagers during, you know, when you're getting safe passage or things like that. So is it worth losing the pilgrims? I think at some point we'll probably have someone who's really going to crunch the numbers, but I think it's an interesting one to open. He's being pretty safe with the second TC. He's covering his gold and his wood line. I think he felt like if Alexis was going to fast castle, he probably would have put it on this deer pack right here and really like pumped up his food numbers. But I think he most likely saw Alexis go out to the berries over here and went, if you're going to be that aggressive with berry taking, I think you're not. I think you're not potentially going to be fighting me. Yet we do see the tower coming up. Where are these villas going? Where are these villas going? Oh no, he's towering the berries. Is he fast castling, but with berries? It's 5 on berries, so they can hide in the tower. He really wants to save sheep, I guess. Maybe he didn't get as much sheep as he wanted to, so he felt like he needed to take berries to some extent just to make sure that he wasn't burning through his berries and getting all in. I thought there'd at least be some units to harass sacred sites, but no, I think Alexis to fast castling. You notice, whenever he has a tower, he doesn't have any more than 5 vills, so a vill doesn't get left on the tower. He might have scouted that, yes, C1PO did go for the French opening, so he's going to get the what we would call the plastic knights. What are the plastic knights? The plastic knights are basically knights that they're cheap. They have some armor, so they're basically, they're in that nebulous position where they're better than a horseman, but worse than a knight. If you play against Mongols, they're worse than a Keshik, but not quite. If you have equal cost, they're kind of better. I think the thing about them is that the way that was balanced them is that they can do okay in feudal. They're not like as tanky as a knight, but if you keep them and you keep massing them and you go into castle and imperial, they get a lot better because every single one you have around them gives them more health. So then they become much better when you have a lot of them. So it's a weird thing. A lot of the Templars bonuses work that way. When you have a lot of something, it's very good, which is just a general thing. But I mean, like, their Knights brothers, their Knights get extra charge for every heavy cav. Their Chevalier gets extra health. So you see this pattern of bonuses based around massing the same unit or massing similar type of units. Gonna go raid the berries down here, and these berries are almost done. He did not tower these berries, but one worry is they're not protected, so he could burn these houses and ruin his pop space. In fact, if both these houses go down, he actually have to start building more houses. Now, that might be why he kept 3 on wood. This was a relatively, this wasn't the fastest castle I've ever seen Japan do. Japan can really rush the castle, but I think Alexis was okay with just doing this more paced fast castle. He's kept 3 on wood this whole time, which means he's got plenty of farmhouses. He's got towers up. He's been getting his farms for free, and I think he's been okay with kind of taking this a little bit slower. Here comes the floating gate, 11 on it. So last theory thing I want to talk about before we really see the action pop off is that what I've seen is the chatter be is that the real weakness Knights Templar have is against fast castle civs. Part of the reason is because you have a lot of things you want to do before your power starts scaling. You want to get both of your pilgrim upgrades. So you see he's just getting his first one, so that took him a minute. He invested in the second DC and then into a stable, so he's finally getting that first pilgrim upgrade. And those pilgrims are the primary way you scale your eco as Knights Templar. I mean, 2TC is also scaling eco, but I mean, you consistently getting those pilgrims to the sacred sites is a lot of gold. They spawn every 60 seconds. If you get a good sacred site, they're getting cap 130, and so to delay that means that you're missing on your main eco lever. And so a fast castle really affects that. By 1, you're getting units on the field immediately that can stop pilgrims. You're attacking the Knights Templar before they have their good castle units out, and then you can do all that damage there. Because once again, these Chevalier aren't like knights; they're not like feudal knights that can kind of delay some castle units. And so let's put this in a potentially precarious spot. Stables coming down. C1PO, and once again the tower. He can't raid that at all. In fact, he didn't even get an upgrade for it, so now he's just gonna put a spring wall emplacement in that bad boy. So he's valuing the emplacements for his food over his town center upgrades. At some point, I think if he gets map control, you'll see him probably pull off a golden onto stone, especially gets a lot of relics. Knights Templar is not hitting their age up. This is a pretty good timing. They're going Republic of Genoa. They have 2 barracks down and a stable. Republic of Genoa is an interesting choice. They're going to get more sacred site gold, which right now he's going to that top sacred site, 130 each time. Praise! Now, what does the Republic of Genoa get him? He will get extra gold. Pilgrims generate 30% more gold. While at the same time, you also get unlock the unit, the Geno C crossbows, which I think are a good choice when we're thinking about the future. So he knows that mounted samurai are going to be entering the field, so he's just going to make a lot of spearmen. He can then make his own knights when he ages up. And what he's waiting for, what he's prepping for with that upgrade is, what if the Japanese player goes into mass melee comp, and specifically mass infantry melee comp, Bugeishas, samurais, things like that. Those Genesee crossbows are amazing against melee units, melee infantry. They have really high base damage. They have extra damage against melee infantry. They have really the highest damage output outside of hand cannoneers. They are very slow though. They shoot slowly, but in mass they do an insane amount of damage. And so I think when he was thinking about, do I do heavy spearmen or do I do Genesee crossbows? Genesee crossbows is better for the long term, because those heavy spearmen are great against Cav, but then Samurai would tear them up. So would Bugeisha. So in that case, he's going to go the Genesee, and also the 30% extra Pilgrim gold is nothing to sniff at. It doesn't show when they're walking, but he will get it once he enters the sacred site. We have the knights out here guarding the relics. Right now, if both civs kind of rush cast like this, the next fight is really over the relics. And so right now, the Japanese player is going to have a huge advantage on that. He has 6 knights on the field, because once again, the Euroshiro is boosting his production speed. Every knight is made in 16 seconds, which is pretty crazy. Each Chevalier is only made in 22 seconds. The spearmen are being used to protect the Ika because he's run out of sheep. So the Knights Templar player really rushed. Pilgrim down. Rest in peace. To match the castle, the Knights Templar player could not afford to really do anything else but just vacuum his sheep, and now he's on berries. He hasn't have any farms yet. He didn't even take deer, which I think this is a mistake. Once again, he can't raid this Springhill Tower. Another pilgrim going down. And look at this, is not enough spearmen. This is not enough spearmen. You need like 2 to 3 spearmen per samurai. He is just going to pull some more. He's coming here. But now he has to do a really dangerous. He's going to be on deer. He's putting 2 towers on this deer pack. Here's the thing. What I don't understand is, seeing that your opponent is going fast castle, he really should have been taking this deer during that castle timing, so he could have gotten this really good food and then backed up to the safer food when the Japanese player hit castle. We have a drop of 3 archery rangers. He's just doing normal crossbows because he's only seen Cav. Heavy crossbows can do okay against Cav, but they don't have any extra damage. It's just against melee infantry. He caught him on the deer. That's so so much damage. 7 vills just gone, disappeared. And now that 2 TC bonus has just kind of lost its luster. We're down to, he still has more vills, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. Oh my goodness. And he read that perfectly. It's all about food, man. He saw the berries have been gone. He most likely saw these berries weren't touched, these deer weren't touched, so his opponent had to go to another food source, right? Thought about where he'd go, check the deer, and boom. Vill's trying to drop some towers. 7 Vill kills in the bag. Crazy. He hasn't broken off from massing knights yet, and you know, that's a legitimate strategy. If you can get enough knights and your opponent can never scale the counter well enough, I mean, knights can kill their counters if you have enough knights. Like, it's not like the instancy crossbows are going to get scared and they can't play anymore. Now, the question is he going to switch sacred sites? The pilgrims are still, he hasn't got a pilgrim there in a minute. This is not going well. The fast castle has just shut down the Knights Templar here. Now he has to rush up to these berries, and Alexis is reading this perfectly. He understands the Knights Templar player is really low on food. He's 2 TC, so he's just checking these food sources constantly. And once again, he's going to get there right when the villagers are walking down. Oh no. It's very tough. These vills are going to be delayed, and here's the thing, this delay, even though he might not get a vill kill here, is so important because he's still not gathering food. He has 0 on food right now. His only food income is from the natural food income from wood. Oh, he saw the knights, and now he's just put all his vills on food. Now he's doing a really harsh farm transition, while Alexis is still eating deer. He has another deer pack, he has another berries over here, he has a boar down here, he has plenty of food, he's getting the farms naturally, and here it is, the Bugeisha ad. Why is this so good for Japan? This is a very classic pairing since the fast castle Japan was first kind of figured out. You go mass knights, right? The knights are high damage, high armor, very good. And you pair them with Bugeishas. Why pair them with Bugeishas? Well, think about what you've forced out from your opponent with knights. If you're massing knights and your opponent is feeling that pressure, they're going to go spear and crossbow. Really good against knights, and then you make Bugeisha. What are Bugeisha good against? Bugeisha have very high DPS. They attack very quickly. They attack every 0.9 seconds. But they're light infantry. They're light melee. But guess what they tear up? They tear up spears, they tear up crossbows. They'll even do well against these blasted knights. And he has no counters. The counters to Bugeishas are archers and men-at-arms or springalds. He doesn't have any of those because those don't counter knights. And so the Knight-Bugeisha combination is a very deadly combination. Usually you see this exact move where he'll mass a lot of knights, then you'll drop a lot of barracks, you'll immediately make a bunch of Bugeishas right on the backside just when the wall's getting up. C1PO is just having a tough time of it right now. And then you'll mass, 15 to 20 Bugeishas, and then you'll show up with your knights and your Bugeishas together, and you'll take a really game-winning fight. So he's not going to like stream them over. He's not going to send 1, 2, or 3 at a time. He doesn't want his opponent to see these Bugeishas. He wants his opponent to still keep scaling the units that his Bugeisha counter, and then he'll show up with the full force and just wipe them. And it's really simple how he'll do it. He'll have the Bugeisha take the initial fight, run the Knights pass onto the crossbows, and it's game over, and those spearmen will just die very, very quickly. Farm transition is still coming in, and this has just slowed down the tempo of C1PO so much. He still is, he's been losing vills on the backside because the Knights snuck through what he was trying to wall. Finally gets the Knights killed. He's still killing vills back here. 15 vills dead. Now there's only a 6 vill lead. He can't send pilgrims to any sacred sites because Alexis has taken every sacred site. When a sacred site is taken, your pilgrims can't go anymore. So now he has no more pilgrim gold income. That's his main economic driver. Things are looking really bad here. He is now desperately pushing back against, but this is the exact fight he wanted to take, and this is going to be game over, folks. Let's watch this. Boom. It's a actual destruction. You just see it. You see it. You see the Bugeisha tearing up the spearmen. The knights run onto the crossbows. The crossbows can't run away anymore, so they'll just get taken down real fast. And yeah, I think Knights Templar, the fast castle, especially with how popular the 2TC Knights Templar is just such a good move right now. What are you supposed to do as Knights Templar? Because and this is just general, fast castle is very good against 2TC for this exact reason. The 2TC player has to rush to catch up to your own castle. They are going to go really heavy on food, and so is the fast castle civ. Your main thing is just raid, keep them off food sources, get relics, get sacred sites, and at this point his eco is the same. Yes, he's a few vills ahead, but the eco is the same basically because he's gotten all the relics. He's got 3 relics, 3 sacred sites. Don't be surprised if he gets the last 2 down here. He's raiding like crazy. He's all over the map. Go into the wood line here. There's just not enough units. And now C1PO has to do something that he doesn't really want to do, which is he has to go mass men at arms. And look at this. This is the power of the Japanese Zerg. Every barracks is 100 wood. 75 wood, my fault. He has dropped 6 barracks. He now has 43 Bugeisha. And Bugeisha at this number, here's what he's going to do. He's just going to run groups of them all around. He's going to run a group around the back. He's going to run a group under this fortress. He's going to run a group at this wall right here. C1PO is trying to get up walls quickly just to buy himself time. His hope right now at this point is that he can somehow scale eco, but I don't see how he gets back in this game. Men at arms do okay against Bugeisha, but you need something that's actually killing them, like archers. Now he's getting out the Geonosi crossbowmen, which are good, but he needs so many. He needs so many to do any damage here, and he's getting raided at every end. The knights are on the south side. Another group of Bugeisha coming. The Bugeisha getting around top of the villagers. These villagers are just, slick, slice. It's madness. These Bugeisha are just madness. And I mean, they die quick, right? But the point is that you can make a lot of them and they're very cheap. He can make, they're only 80 resources. They make every 11 seconds. Truly a Zerg unit. Now these Geonosi crossbowmen, if he had like 15 of these, he'd be doing really well against them. They do 31 a shot. Bugeisha is only 100 health. And so they would 3-shot, basically. Actually 4? That's actually really important. That it would take 4 shots from these crossbows to kill a Bugeisha. And with 2 ranged armor. Can we see the stats on this again? I'm curious. He only has 1. The problem with these crossbowmen is that they're very expensive. 175 resources, food and gold. Not easy, and when you don't have sacred sites, where are you getting that gold from? He's trying to get this sacred site back open so he can get more pilgrims going. He still doesn't have the second pilgrim upgrade. He will have 2 because he has a fortress down. This knight has been over here attacking this forever. He's getting his... I mean, how does C1PO get back in this game? He gets back in this game by basically trusting that at this point, Alexis has run out of food on the map. So Alexis is now going to his own farms. He's getting his farm set up, and he gets a really good farm transition from the from his wood villagers, which don't have to drop off at a lumber camp. So you can kind of see his goal here is, I'm just gonna get my farms up. I'm gonna mass. I'm gonna secure this left side so I can get a sacred site going. Once I get my sacred site going, my gold's gonna be a lot better, and then I can transition to a better comp. He really needs mass spring ults. The way you deal with this Bugeisha, mass spring ults. Mass spring ults. So at this point, he's getting so many Bugeisha that I don't know what you do against this anymore. Alexis is taking this time to get all of his upgrades. He's actually switching to an archer range, and now he's getting Onna-Bugeisha. Onna-Bugeisha are their horseman crossbow. And I think he's going into that because he saw the men at arms. So he saw the men at arms, and he went, great, you're going to go men at arms. I'm going to go Onna-Bugeisha, which will then counter your men at arms and will make my Bugeisha even better. Which is a legitimate way back in. He's playing a very long game, though. Alexis has dropped his own second TC. So now the villager count is similar. Eco count very much favors Alexis still. But now if you're C1PO, you're kind of playing into this, I'm going to scale sacred sites. I'm going to try to mass up an army, fight under a fortress, where he gets a lot of bonuses for fighting under a fortress. Oh, Bugeisha snuck in. Alexis is so confident he's going to take the berries right next to his TC. And Alexis, I'm really, he's added in horsemen too. Horsemen are going to do great against these crossbows. No archers yet from C1PO. He's just splitting. He's going to have the cab do another raid on the backside here where all the farms are, and then while the farms get hit, Bugeisha might do another dive here. He's walling the entire central part, so he can't be raided after this. C1PO could get back in this game, but he has to drag this game out so long. Because right now, Alexis is just so far ahead. He has to, and actually the deer are opening, and he could go back on the deer. How many villagers? He's lost 30 villagers already. Oh my goodness. The constant rates from Alexis have been brutal. And Alexis is building up for a death push down here. He got a bunch of upgrades. He basically took time to get a bunch of upgrades, get his farming eco up, get some TC upgrades, so his farms are better. Going in for the big dive here. I don't even think he cares if he loses these knights. He's going pure Onna-Bugeisha. Which, once again, great option because C1PO is going pure crossbow range. And those Onna-Bugeisha are going to tear up these crossbows. They'll do really well against most melee. He needs either mass archers or he needs mass spring ults. Because that's 70, he's going to have 74 Bugeisha. And I think you see Alexis's idea here, which is just, I'm just going to keep attacking. I'm just going to keep attacking with mass units. And you're just going to not be able to stop me. Now, decapping the sacred site was huge, but he's going to recap this here in a second. He's dropping towers around the sacred sites. Remember, Japan does not have a castle in castle. They can't build a castle in castle, which sucks for them, but which they can in Imperial, but not in castle. So the only way you can secure space like this is either with a TC or with a tower. C1PO is going to go into mass fortresses, which is smart. You don't have the military to kill your opponent, so you just start dropping fortresses everywhere to secure space. Gold's gonna become an issue here soon. He has this one gold here, which is 4,000 gold, but then after that, he has one that's covered by a tower. He has one that's being walled through right now. So these fortresses are gonna play an important part. I just don't know what he does when Alexis decides to just go all in. When he just decides it's game-ending time, because Alexis could just go into mass Onnas like he's doing right now. Or, and yep, rest in peace. Those pilgrims were finally getting to march back home, and then this knight is still attacking this wall. Never gonna give up. He was told, I gotta burn this wall down. I think it's almost over here. For sure. +1, guys. My wife got me a coffee. Real gamer moment. Yeah, I'm gonna take another picture of this. I like a picture. This is a fun little army to take a picture of. Great stuff. Oop. Oh no, I gave away the trade secrets. Just yeah, this wall's really gonna hold you out here. Pilgrim's still just getting sniped. Here come the Onna-Bugeishas, and all these villagers are gonna die. And where's his army? Back here. Oh no, he was out of position. He never fixed the wall. He never actually got the wall. I wonder if he realized he never actually closed that wall. I mean, that's happened to all of us at some point, right? You start building a wall, your villagers get killed, you forget to ever close the wall, and then you think that you actually have that closed, and then oopsie poopsie. And he was probably going to clean this up, but the villager kills. He's lost 69 villagers, nice. He's now at 60 vills himself. C1PO is at 60 vills, while Alexis is at about to be 100 vills. All sacred sites are taken, and he's going in. Feels bad. And, you know, Alexis is doing the smart thing. He doesn't need to win this in Castle. He fully realizes that he has C1PO shut down pretty heavily, so he can do this, kill a lot of eco, go imp, and then win with just a very simple Imperial push. I bet the second he hits imp, C1PO calls us a game because nothing has really gone right for him this whole game. And there it goes. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out my other content in the description below my video. Subscribe and like, and thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day, and good luck on your own games.